A man who's given us so many thrills for so many years on the ice, Olympic gold medalist from 1984, and author of Finish First, Winning Changes Everything. Good to see you, Scott Hamilton.
Great to see you. This is awesome. What a great space.
Thanks, man.
It's fantastic.
I appreciate that.
It's an upgrade from the old ESPN days, that's for sure.
It's been a while since the Bristol days. Yeah, I know. I think that's when we first met. It had to have been.
Yeah, I mean, I used to just hang out there all the time because we would rehearse Stars on Ice in Simsbury, and I just, on Sunday afternoon, watch the games with Boomer and TJ and just hang out and fun years. Those were great years.
Wow. And now here we are sitting here in 2018.
What year is it?
I know.
Yeah.
What year is it? So Finish First. Let's talk about this right off the bat. Your book, Winning Changes Everything. What do you mean by that,
Well,
Scott?
it's just, I really see people just, sort of like looking for direction. It's how do I, how do I do anything? How do I, launch? How do I, meet goals? How do I, find my purpose? How do I do things? In a time where we've had kind of this participation trophy mentality for a long time, it's just, people get paralyzed now by failure, by criticism, and looking for a path forward. So I kind of had a lot of really lean years, those years where I kind of came in dead last a lot and failed a lot of the skating tests. And
when was that?
Oh, that was early on. It was, my first nationals was, my goodness, 73. And I fell 5 times in my program and came in dead last. And that was about the best I had back then. And so I figured if I could find my way out of that, and if I could, come up with all different ways of surviving, cancer and all the, those setbacks, that, I might be able to share some of that or a lot of that in a book that could, really help people. And so Finish First is about really just finding your purpose. And then here's how to kind of get to that point where you're really living a victorious life.
Now, let's talk about the cancer part of this, for the lack of a better phrase. You're currently battling your 3rd brain tumor?
Yeah. Can you see it?
No, I can't.
No, yeah, it's good. It's shrinking.
Just by the way that the way you said that, I got to be honest with you, it's a little jarring.
I know, it's
a little
just
jarring the way that you said that.
I've kind of gotten used to this now. It's kind of like just part of everyday life for me is just what's going on with my health. And so first brain tumor diagnosed 2004, gamma knife radiation. 2010 came back, it was 6 years later. And that was surgery that kind of had a few complications. And then 6 years later, it came back. And this time I just sort of tapped the brakes and said, let's just keep an eye on this thing because we caught it really early.
Okay.
And I just had this instinct, just to get strong. Just get strong. Get strong. I don't know if it was physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, what, just get strong. And so I spent the last, couple of years just getting as strong as I can be, physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. And,
I know Stuart Scott did that.
Yeah.
When Stuart was diagnosed with his cancer,
yeah.
He and you, I don't know, you go way back with him
way
too.
Back to Orlando.
I bet we've all, at some point, we've definitely all 3 of us hung together. I wish I could have a photographic memory like that. But that's what Stuart did. Stuart worked out. I mean, he got rock solid.
Yeah, I'm not like that. That'll not.
You're not getting swole. As
not swole, as Stuart would say. But I'm just really just trying to do everything I can in my time. And, the book is a big part of that. Just taking everything I've learned and just trying to help people kind of get off the bench.
And is it true that your tumor has shrunk without medication?
The last two scans, it's shown remarkable, diminishing. And, what's wild is they can't really explain it. It's against the nature of that brain tumor to ever do anything but grow. And so even my endocrinologist is, she had the same tumor, same surgery, same everything when she was 14 and became an endocrinologist because she was underserved.
Right. And
I go, have you ever heard of one shrinking? She goes, never. I did the Dr. Oz show. And I said, yeah, have you ever heard of a cranial shrinking? He goes, never. I go, okay. Well, thank you.
Yeah.
God gets all the glory on this one. And for whatever reason, I don't know. I've said goodbye to a lot of friends who've suffered through cancer, and and I get this really this kind of pass, and so I've been really just working hard to just serve.
So I know there must be scores of people watching, listening to this, Scott Hamilton, saying, "Well, what did you do?" I mean,
well, I did a lot. I cleaned up my diet. I took out a lot of things that I knew weren't going to help me out. I hate to say those on a show where you might have sponsors, so I'm going to leave those alone. No,
okay.
Yeah,
sure.
but I went to high pH water, which is really great, just because if I can change the environment of my body from acidic to more alkaline, then cancer cells don't like that very much. So there's a lot of research being done on that right now about creating an alkaline environment in your body, but gave up sugar, gave up just a lot of things that I knew weren't going to help me out.
Well, unless you
anything it wants,
your brain.
I'm not going to.
I got it. I was about to say, unless you gave up a Honda or a Sleep Number bed or a Michelin Premium Wiper Blade or TrueCar or whatever, you can mention it because we don't have those types of sponsors.
No, so I gave up anything that would help the tumor. I just quit it, and I added other things like supplements and some things that kind of just help.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.